Purpose-Inspired TV is under construction. During this process, we invite you to step into the journey. By joining our team, you have the chance to shape the very fabric of this channel with your creative ideas and skills. We believe that the true essence of innovation lies in collaboration, and together, we can create something truly extraordinary. We will provide content that ignites your passion, inspires personal growth, and encourages a positive impact on society. Our focus is on delivering shows that are entertaining, thought-provoking, educational, and uplifting. We want to hear your voice, your vision, and your recommendations for individuals you would love to see on our channel. We aim to create a channel that resonates deeply with viewers, challenging them to think bigger, dream bolder, and live a life of purpose. So, join us today, and together, we can make a difference, one viewer, one show, and one purpose at a time.
What's up, everybody? I pray everybody's doing well. Yes, I'm here again. I'm doing a challenge. I'm challenging myself. And I'm looking at I guess it looks all right. Yeah, actually, I am going live 7 days in a week. And guess what? Yes, 7 days in a week and 7 days is a week. Okay, I am on day number 6. If I know how to count. Yes, we're on day number 6. Just got one more day. I was able to go live 7 days in a row. So thank you all for those who have been tuning in. I've been talking about all sorts of things. Been talking about different subjects that is helping people live. Been talking about funny subjects. Talking about some subjects that just make you want to shake your head and shake my head. It's some crazy things. So if you missed it, if you missed this whole week, go back. It's some good entertainment. Amen. Amen. And today I was thinking about what world can I talk about today? And I started thinking of some funny stuff, but ended up start thinking about some things of growing up, because I had fun talking about growing up stories last night, playing in the river, riding down the river in canoodles and on inner tubes and all that kind of thing, almost drowning several times. So I was still thinking about some more stories, but this time it was kind of based around my mom, the different things that my mom taught me. So while I got some things I want to talk about, I came across this guy, this comedian, preacher. So I want to play him first, and then I get into my stories. All right, let's just watch a little preacher.
She was super strict. We couldn't watch Batman growing up. The Halloween was the devil's birthday. Right? She couldn't have squirt guns. She like, squirt guns are too much like guns. I'm like, I don't think you ever had a gun before, Mom. Like, no one's gonna rob you with a super soaker. Like, give me all the money, woman, or your makeup is gone. Like, that's not a thing. That's stupid. She used to wash her mouth out with soap for saying cuss words in the house. I'm not talking about this jail soap you could just rub. I'm talking about that, you know what I mean? The one you can't breathe with for saying cuss words in the house. You know cuss words? Like shut up, dang it, stupid, not cuss words. Let me say a real cuss word. Well, I wish I would say a real cuss word, all right? Now, I wouldn't, that's an automatic beat down. You don't even gotta be related to my mom to get whooped for cussing in her house. My best friend growing up, his name was Red, like the color. His name used to be Fred. He cussed in front of my mom. She beat the F out of him. And then... I like how y'all just applauded child abuse, but whatever. Beat them kids! All right, let's go. Mom is great, man. Mom, she would never flip out on us, though. She would never flip out on something in public. My mom would not flip it. Some parents just lose it on their kids. My mom, if I was acting up in public, she would just hug me. That's all she would do. She would like, you just need some loving. That's all you need. He just needs some loving. Get you some love, boy. Come here. Come on. You trip. Come here. You want to die, little boy? I will kill you. Keep on acting up. I love you. All right. You done crying? You all done. All right. Sometimes he need a hug. That's all he. My mom does some silly stuff. One time for my birthday, she bought me a race car bed, right? When I was in high school. So I was like, it's not the kind of car I wanted, Mom. She got me a race car bed in high school. That's my mom right there, by the way. So like, am I lying? Thank you. All right, hold on. Did you not give me a race car bed in high school? It was high school. What are you talking about? She didn't give me a race car bed in high school. It was 100% high school. Yeah, she thought it was a good idea, too. She was like, what do you want for your birthday? I was like, I don't even care. Mom surprised me. Then she was like, surprise. And I was like, oh, snap. This is stupid. You got me a race car bed in high school. Who the heck buys a 21-year-old a race car bed? Who does that, man? No, I couldn't even bring my friends over. They make fun of me. Hey, preacher, how fast can you go to sleep? Like, shut up, bro. You're corny. So annoying, man.
All right, that was Preacher. Just remind me of a couple of things. When I was growing up as a kid, what some of the things he talked about? Getting a spanking. The way... Got two memories of the of spankings. One, there was a paddle, a big wooden paddle, and had everybody's name written on it. And I think I'm the only one that they use it on. My older sister, she would talk herself out of everything. My second one, Crystal, sometimes she would start screaming and yelling and running down the street. She done ran all down the block sometimes to get away. And Corey, I don't know. Corey just was just quiet. She stayed out of trouble somehow. I found out she got in trouble a lot when I went into the Navy. But I do remember a couple of times where like Crystal and I will bump heads and stuff and get in trouble. So Mom's like, okay, go get each other's a switch. So yeah, we had a lot of switches. I was a switch expert. I know sometimes the switches they would fall behind the couch and they would dry and get hard. You didn't want to get hit with those. I was probably the one that's probably put it behind the couch and made it dry up. So a couple of times I can remember my mom telling me and Krista got in trouble. I don't know if we was arguing about something. So my mom told me to go get a switch for her. And she had to get a switch for me. So we go in the backyard. I remember Krista getting the biggest, what is it? Look like a mini tree. She got the biggest thing she could find. But I was smart. I was a switch expert. I knew that big old thing that she got my mom could probably hit me twice and the thing was going to fall apart. So I went and got an old dried old stick that wasn't going to break. And that's exactly what happened. So it's just funny to think about it. I went ahead, since I'm the oldest, I got my whooping first. My mom only hit me a couple of times. That thing just fell out. It was all flimsy, fell apart, broke apart. But then it was Crystal's turn. Yeah, she got a whole lot of licks in before that, before my mom stopped hitting her. I think Crystal learned I need to get the type of switches Joe get. But yeah. That was a good old, yeah. My mom didn't let her slide. I think I got the most punishment. I think I was, I don't want to lie on camera. I think I was the most behaved child in the house, but at the same time, I got the most punishments in the house. I was on punishment the most. She'll, like I said, she would talk her way out of it. I can remember just being on punishment, like seemed like the whole summer. I can remember even on the weekends, I couldn't watch TV. So I used to walk through the living room and the TV's on, Fat Abra or whatever's on TV. She would tell, Joe, look at that TV. I saw him. He looked at TV. Yeah, they didn't let me get away with nothing. But yeah, I used to get in fights. Shell used to be bigger than me. He used to beat me up. And then, but I was taught, as one of the lessons that I taught, my mom taught, don't ever hit a girl. Well, I guess we got, if you wrestling or fighting, that's different. But just flat out hitting her for no reason or just hitting them, I couldn't do it. So I was getting beat up sometimes, trying my best not to hit. But I think that's a good lesson. My mom or mothers should teach their sons not to hit on women, no matter what, especially if you're way bigger than them and stronger than them. Don't hit. Get yourself out of the situation. That's why I've never liked to play fights and in boyfriend, girlfriends, or even marriages. That play fight, just getting that idea of hitting each other, I don't like it. It just bothers me. Don't even play like you're fighting. But a few things, like even with words, my mom taught me to not let words bother you. So like, what's a lot of words? It used to be, I can remember when I got down here, like people calling you ugly. She would teach me, ask me, do you think you're ugly? Sometimes I thought I was, because I was listening to other people, and I had a, is it called a color complex? Everybody in my house was light skinned or bright skinned. Were way lighter than me. I was darkest. I thought I was an outcast. I thought I was adopted or something. I didn't know how or why I fit in. I was mismatched. I didn't match the family. So I had that going against me. And then people calling you ugly or whatever. So she had, say, you're not ugly, you're not ugly. So if people call you ugly, that's their problem, not yours. So that took a while to get to sink in. She taught me. I remember coming home one time about getting in a fight over this thing when I was growing up. If you say yo mama, those are fighting words. That's all you had to do. Say yo mama. So that happened with me one time. We argued with somebody at school and they said yo mama. And we got into it, got in trouble. And my mom asked me what happened. And I said, they said yo mama. And she flipped it on me. She was like, do they know me? It's like, nope. Have they ever seen me? Nope. They know anything about me? I'm like, nope. I'm like, what they say? My mama big, fat, and ugly. If y'all know what my mama looked like, she was very small, not ugly, and she was very bright, very, very light skinned. As I guess some people probably say she could have passed for white. So she wasn't big, black, and ugly. So it was kind of like proving her point. They don't know nothing about me when they talking about yo mama, when saying yo mama. So don't you ever. She was like, she never, ever wanted to hear about me getting in a fight or getting in trouble because somebody was talking about her or somebody talking about yo mama. So like I said, I ended up getting in trouble, but thinking I'm defending her honor. And she flipped that thing on me like, you better not. I better not ever hear you getting in a fight or argument about somebody saying something about your mama. So from that point on, they could say your mama and say all these different things about my mama. And I always like say, well, they don't know my mama. They never seen my mama. They have actually no idea who my mom is, anything about my mom. So it taught me how to let it bounce off. It didn't bother me no more. Just a quick lesson. You know, it didn't take long for me to learn that lesson. So what else? The F word, FAGOT. So when some guys used to try to say other guys are gay for any other reason, I don't know if we could say that. So that word, I guess you can't say it. Like some guys will call me, other guys, especially trying to make you mad, call you a faggot. So I had that conversation with her. She's like, faggot is a bundle of sticks. Are you a bundle of sticks? And I think she said that same thing about the N word. So think of, is something stupid? And I actually looked it up. You look up the word faggot, it was like a bundle of sticks. So are you a bundle of sticks? Like, no way I'm a bundle of sticks. So why would you get mad if somebody call you a bundle of sticks? So which one of y'all crazy? Are you crazy for being a bundle of sticks? Or are they crazy for calling you a bundle of sticks? I said, they are. So she, basically she taught me it's something wrong with that person, nothing wrong with you. So when people will call me names, that's what I used to think. It's something mentally wrong with these people or that person for calling me these names. And I felt sorry for them. So it kept me for staying calm. Even with the N word, I thought something was mentally wrong with people calling people the N word. So with other people, my other friends or different, friends or classmates, they would go, sir, all you got to do is say your mom. I tried it one time too. This good dude running his mouth on the bus. And I knew I wasn't a fighter. I got in some fights, but I didn't want to. It was some, I was just, some being bullied or whatever. End up getting in a fight, just can't get your way out of it. So here was another situation where somebody was on the bus running their mouth. They figured I was the skinniest and the weakest guy on the bus. So I guess he wanted to go ahead and prove everybody how bad he was by, picking at me. So I just sat there and he just ran his mouth. And then I got up, and when the bus stopped, and it was just at the very last second, I let everybody get off. It was time for me to get off. Right before the door closed, I yelled at him, "Yo, mama!" and jumped off the bus. They shut the door. He went crazy. He just ran. He didn't let me out. Let me get him. I was gone. Couldn't get me. And thankfully, he didn't remember it the next day. Somehow I made it the next day. But it was crazy stuff that I went through. So yeah, like I said, I couldn't watch TV. The switches, we couldn't. I remember saying, like, getting in trouble for saying. I think mine was saying like, "Dang," sometimes. But one thing, I used to yell real loud in the backyard. Golly, like what is it, Gomer Powell? He used to be in the backyard playing whatever, and I always just scream out, "Golly!" And my mom shut it down. I couldn't keep saying that. So it's just some good lessons that life lessons. Like you just teach as parents. We're talking about mothers and fathers. You can teach your child something one time, and they're gonna remember it the rest of their life. And then you can see some grown folks that have never been taught things. A lot of people say it should be common sense. It ain't common. Nobody taught it to them. Common is not common if it hasn't been taught. So everybody don't have common sense. Everybody don't have home training. Everybody don't have a decent mom or a decent dad or stepmom, stepdad, aunties, grandma, different people in their lives that teach them the things of life that they should know. So I got a video of one of the lessons that my mom taught me. Well, I just probably just play the video and then I'll elaborate it. But one of the main points I've learned, so we've talked about mental health, and this is men's mental health. A lot of men hold things in. They keep a lot of things to themselves. And then when I watched this video, and I saw that was me, especially as a child, how I held just about everything in. I didn't have someone, to just talk to. Or I think when I did have some friends that I would talk to, and if they ever, I think I mentioned the other night, if I would tell you something and then you turn around and use it against me, you're not getting anything else out of me. So it was very rare for me to really find somebody to really open up and talk to. And then when I saw this video, I'm like, wow, I was like that at a very young age. But anyway, let's play this video. It's something that happened. I almost lost my finger, y'all. So I call this my first Confederate flag.
Now we got it. It's time for Let Joe's Adventures. Wild and crazy stories of Let Joe's 9 Lives.
What's up, everybody? It's that time again for Little Joe's Crazy Adventures. This time we're going to be going back to North Carolina, some of the stories of me growing up as Little Joe. So let me go tell you about this little incident that happened. But I got a little backstory. When growing up as a kid, we used to have these TV shows. Where TV wasn't like TV it is now. I'm not all that old, but TV is different. But when I was in school, I made bad grades. So sometimes I made bad grades, yeah. And I was on punishment. I couldn't watch TV. Was one of my punishments. So for a while, I didn't watch TV for a long time. Even the summertime, I went to summer school, and my sisters, and mainly Shell, was the policeman. Like, I could walk through the living room, Again, it wasn't like now. We had one TV. It was in the living room. And if the TV was on, I come walking through the living room and just try to glance over the TV. Hey, Ma! Y'all watching TV? Yeah, she didn't let me get away with nothing. So anyway, I think I went for 2 years one time, my 2 year span. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't sit down and watch TV. So TV was a privilege. I really appreciated it when I was able to watch it. Another thing, like on Saturdays, look forward to the Saturday morning cartoons. One of them, like Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, and Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Around the time when the Cosby Kids would go off, it was about the time that the girls would be getting their hair done. I was only a boy, 3 girls. They were getting their hair done, and my job was to take the hot iron and hot comb from the living room back and forth to the kitchen, What it is a comb, a little comb that's made out of steel, iron, whatever. And you heat it up, get it hot, and then the women will comb their hair with this hot comb to straighten their hair. And I thought it was barbaric. Like, you can hear their hair frying. And I'm like, anyway, that was my job to go get the comb when it got hot. When it got cold, I had to go take it back again. Well, like on Saturday morning, it was Soul Train. When they were getting their hair done, everybody was watching Soul Train. And at night, we would go visit some relatives out in the country. That's what we call out in the country. And I know just about every Saturday night, we were watching Hee Haw at night. Hee Haw, hee haw. Okay. Friday nights, again, if you didn't watch TV all week, you look forward to watching TV on Friday and Saturday. And some of my shows, what was it? Incredible Hulk. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And what's another one? Knight Rider. Oh man, when Knight Rider came on, I got tingling that went up my back. Ooh, don't.
Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.
back to the story. And another one of my shows. He's a good old boy. I never mean no more. Yeah, buddy. Dukes of Hazzard. I love the Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah. We used to look for black guys in the show. I think it was one black dude, the sheriff, from whatever, Beaufort County. I can't remember. Okay, I go to the Piggly Wiggly, and I think I got a quarter, and I go buy a ring out of the bubblegum machine, and I get a General Lee ring. That's what I call them, a General Lee ring. And I'm cool. I'm happy. I take out a little piece of plastic, slide it on my ring finger, and cool. I'm walking around with my General Lee ring. But anyway, it wasn't that long, and my mom saw the ring. She's like, "Boy, what are you doing with that ring on?" Like, this is my General Lee ring. Do you know you don't supposed to wear that ring? What's wrong? But she went, trying to explain to me. I really didn't understand it, but a black man, black boy, black person shouldn't have a Confederate flag wearing it. You shouldn't do it. Shouldn't have anything to do with the Confederate flag. I didn't know. All I know, it was a General Lee. The flag that's on top of the General Lee. So I thought it was cool. I was happy to have me a General Lee ring. So to make my mother happy, it was a sticker, plastic ring was a sticker. So I peeled a sticker of the flag off and stuck it somewhere, but kept the ring on my finger. So the problem was the ring was too small for my finger. So when I wake up the next day, my finger is throbbing, and I look down at my finger. It looks like I got two thumbs. The finger that the ring was on was swole up big as my thumb, and it was like I couldn't even brush it, couldn't do anything to it. I was in so much pain. I go ahead and get dressed and said that to my mama. I never said too much to my mom about anything. Any problem in it, I wouldn't tell her. But anyway, so I go to school. I'm in pain. I'm just real cautious, like stay away from my finger, stay away from my finger. And a couple of people looking at my finger, wow, man, that's big. I better. Yes, it hurts. Stay away from the finger. So go to school. And at school, I was pretty quiet. Never got into trouble. Never bothered nobody. I was a pretty good kid. And all my teachers knew that. But this one day, one of my teachers heard me scream. I was going off on this dude. I was yelling and screaming. I don't think I was cussing, but I know I was on the verge of cussing. And my teacher's like, "What's wrong, Joe? He never causing a problem. What's wrong? Hey, Joe, come up here. What's going on? Come here." So I get up there. "He touched my finger. And it hurts." So she looks at my finger. "What? Go to the nurse right now. Go to the nurse." So she sent me to the nurse. And I get in there. And the nurse like, "What in the world is going on, man? You about to lose your finger." The nurse is going crazy. Because my finger is changing colors and it's about to explode. But I wouldn't say anything to anybody. So now the nurse has got the. She's trying to figure out a way to get this ring off. So then she finds some scissors and stuff, and I'm like, I'm concerned about saving my ring. This little piece of plastic that's about to take my finger off, but she found some scissors or something and ended up cutting it off, and I don't know if she wrapped it up. I know I didn't want anybody to touch it, but eventually the swelling and everything went down. I didn't lose my finger, but it generally almost cost me my finger. Mm-hmm. All right. That's how. Uh-oh. Let me stop this. Sorry. Yeah, that's the story of how General Lee almost took my finger. So that was some crazy times. I don't know if you heard the story. You heard the story. Got the little ring out to the bubblegum machine and I couldn't take it off. Wouldn't tell anybody that it was stuck. Should have been able to tell my mom or my dad, look, I got this ring on my finger. Can't get it off. Nope. Didn't say nothing to anybody. Just walked around this big, my finger swollen and scared to touch it. It's crazy. But it just reminded me of like some men who, maybe going through some things or maybe hurting. We just say some guys wait till they're about half dead before they finally go to the doctor or to the hospital about anything. But we shouldn't be like that. People shouldn't be like that. So we should be able to have someone to be able to go to talk to about anything. So back to the point of why I'm talking today. I'm talking about different things I learned from my mom. So she talked about the Confederate flag, why a little kid, a little brother shouldn't have been walking around with a Confederate flag on his ring finger as a ring. But now I'm thinking, why was it even in the bubblegum machine? I guess it was common back then. So they were everywhere. They stuck it on anything, and we was in the South. So it was really no big deal. But and think about racism. Yeah, I brought up in the South, and yes, racism was there, but I had like a different view of it. Just thinking about my neighbors, we were the first people of color to move into our neighborhood. So it was like the hill that was a couple of blocks away. It was a black neighborhood, and then you go another direction, being people of color. But this kind of like this whole neighborhood that we were in, we were the only people of color. So we moved in, and some people you could tell they didn't like us, and even our neighbors. They had money. Like we had a small, modest house, and the neighbors on one side had a nice brick house. And then on the other side, it was a nice big 2-story. I thought it was a mansion on the other side. So it was all different price. How do you say it? Like today, a lot of the houses are pretty much the same. They cookie cutter. They look the same, built the same value. But our neighborhood, it was all different price range houses. So, like I said, that one of our neighbors, like 2-story, big, gigantic house. That's the house that we should have been in. All the people that was in our house, but most of I know my stepdad and mom, Shell, and I think Crystal really didn't get along with those neighbors on that one side. But me and Corey, we ain't pay him no attention. It's kind of like, okay, he don't like us because we're black, but I still talk to him. I think I might have cut his grass. I know I had conversations with him. I didn't have a problem with him, and I don't think Corey had a problem with him. So, but everybody else, oh, he's racist, he's this, he's that. Okay, I probably ignored it and still, had a relationship with him. And I know they probably thought I was crazy. We didn't have central air or central heat. But in the summertime, I prayed for rain. Oh my goodness, I prayed for rain. So I would be in the window like thunderstorms. Sisters used to laugh at me because I used to record the thunderstorms. Had a whole long. I had thunderstorm mixtapes, and when it was super hot, I would play those tapes and imagine it being cooled off. And then when I was in the Navy, stuck on the ship, inside a ship and everything, I'll play those tapes. So you just, it's on YouTube and all these video places now, but I had those tapes, and that's what I would listen to remind me of being outside or listen to the rain. And on the other side of the house, I remember Miss Mary Beth. She used to have a vacation Bible school in the backyard. I loved it because they had some good snacks. They taught us about Bible. They had a pool. I was able to get in that pool sometime. So you can see it was money on both sides of us. But so anyway, it's I kind of, like I said, I dealt with the racism. It really didn't bother me. I guess somebody would say how did like somebody brought up during the time of extreme racism, and they said that's just the way it was. I mean, you adapt. It's not like now you're outside of it and looking back and see how things were done. If you are in it, you adapt, and then you get to the point where you're not even realizing that's what you're in the midst of. I don't know if that makes sense. I know a lot of people ask, how did you deal with this, and how do you deal with people treating you this way or doing this? That's just the way it was, and that's just eat, sleep, breathing, work, everything. It was part of life. Even back, like I said, when it was worse, it was their way of life. They had to learn to deal with it. But like I said, in North Carolina, I really didn't, or I ignored it, didn't pay attention to it too much until I can know a story. One time I came home and I used to, like family reunions, I would wherever, most when I was in Florida, I would drive up from Florida, pick up my mom or maybe pick up one of my aunts and sisters or whoever was around and able to go. I would pick them up and we would go north to wherever the family reunion was. And I can remember there's one time it was way, I didn't take the back route. Sometimes I like to take the scenic route, but I was on some scenic route somewhere in North Carolina, I think, or Virginia. And I had a flat tire, or something's wrong with my tire. I think it was a flat tire. And I can remember people of color didn't attempt to help. Looked like regular white folks didn't attempt to help. But then there's truckload of some good old boys, rednecks with a Confederate flag. And actually they was playing rap music. It was like, I'm looking at them like, that's weird. They look like they want to hurt me, but they listen to rap music. They got that big gigantic Confederate flag flying. So that's straight up beware. If I was alone by myself at night, would have been afraid to see those guys riding up. So they rolled up and saw me trying to change the tire, and they jumped off the truck and pretty much took over. I'm forgetting exactly. I don't know if I was putting my spare on. I can't remember that part of the story. But what I do remember is when they rolled up and saw me trying to take the tire off, they saw my mom, they saw my aunt, they saw the other kids. They took it amongst themselves with their Southern hospitality and helped me get the tire fixed. Got the tire fixed. We were back on the road, got back on our trip, heading back up north again. And that stuck with me. And I'm thinking, like, people that look like me wouldn't help. People that I thought was safe to be around, they didn't help. The people who I thought were going to help, was going to hurt me, was the ones that helped. And I can remember another situation when I went to Boston. So like, I'm growing up in the South. I'm used to the South, and everybody tell me the North, they're not racist up in the North. I don't even know why I'm talking about racist, but yeah, they said up north they're not racist. So when I was in the Navy here, my ship went from Jacksonville up to Boston for dry dock. So it was my first time going to Boston. And back then you had to travel with your uniform on. I think the last I heard, I don't know if they changed it again. The last I heard, you can't travel with your uniform on. People might try to hurt you. But back then we had to travel with our uniform. So I flew into Boston, and actually, yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to get the story together. Yeah, got to Boston. And for some reason, I didn't have any money on me. I don't know why, but so I got to Boston. Didn't really have too much money on me, and I met another white guy that was going to the same ship. So we ended up, thankfully, the uniform let us know what was up. So we ended up being friends the rest of the time I was on the ship. But anyway, so I got with him, and I tell him I forgot to bring money. Well, I spent them. I don't remember why I didn't have any money traveling. So he said he was going to take care of the cab. So now we go out, get a cab, and the guy really didn't even speak English. So what we're trying to tell him, we're trying to get you to the ship. So we're telling him, get to the ship. So he takes us. We're trying to get to the modern ship. He takes us to the USS Constitution. That's a museum. And we're like, nope, that's not it. That's the wrong ship. So then he was like, he don't know. So we got out the car. Me and this other guy got out the car and was walking up and down the street. They're trying to ask the different different stores how to get to the ship. So my experience was when I was walking down the street and I see a white couple walking down the street, they immediately crossed over. I'm like, I got a doggone uniform on. How in the world are they afraid of me? And then I think I would see somebody else walking the dog or something. They walk the other direction. So then I went to a store. Got the sign that says open. So I'm going to go in the store and ask them where the ship is. And when I walk up, they see me coming. They take the sign from open and change it to close and lock the door. And I'm like, can you tell me where the ship is? And the ship, we're closed. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I think that was my first time really feeling like racism. And was up in the north, not in the south. In the south, they can have that Confederate flag flying. They could, whatever, but they would help you. They would have told me, anyway, I'm sorry. They would have told me, they would have given me direction. They wouldn't have been acting like they was afraid of me. They wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have felt like they was going to harm me unless it was late at night or something. But I just felt like even people that were quote unquote called, straight up racist, they would have more, they had more Southern hospitality. They had more hospitality than I saw when I was up in Boston. And another time when I was on the ship, I was a sailor of the quarter. I was a good guy. I stayed out of trouble. But one thing I did do wrong is they tell you you don't supposed to travel more than 50 miles from the ship. So I decided to drive from Boston over to Niagara Falls. That was more than 50 miles away. So when I got there, I was having car trouble. And when I was at the Niagara Falls, my car wouldn't start. So I had some jumpers. So I'm sitting there with the jumpers on top of the car and waiting for somebody to park. You try to get the jump. That took forever. So I finally got a jump. And then the next day, well, we went ahead and it was being a white guy. We stayed. He traveled with me, and we got a motel room. You get up the next day, car won't start again. So I'm out there trying to start it, won't start. So now I'm asking all different people for a jump. Nobody would help. And then somebody, good old boy from North Carolina, because I remember seeing his license plate. He's the only one that brought his truck over and gave me a jump. So I got a jump. Then we went to the tower. I forget what you call it. The tower right there at Niagara Falls. So we went there. Went up there, went to the top of the tower, whatever, the revolving tower. Had a good old time. Came back down. Car won't start again. So I was like, okay, it's time. I got to get a battery or something. So now I'm looking. I'm watching people coming out of the park, coming out, going to the parking lot. So I remember seeing a couple that had Miami. Like, yeah, these are my people. I live in Florida, and I got Florida tags on my car. Maybe they'll give me a jump. Nope. So saw two black guys coming out. Yeah, these cool two black guys. They didn't give me a jump. No, the type of car I got, we can't give jumps. And somebody was like, I could not save my life to get a jump. So I had to go to the people that ran the that's right around the golf cart that worked there. I had to get them to give me a jump. I couldn't get people to help. But I do believe if I was in North Carolina and maybe even in Florida, I would be able to, somebody would have been able to, coming up and stopping and giving you a jump. But like I said, I just felt, the black people too. It's like I just felt a lot of racism, way worse up north than I did down here in the South. I don't know if other people experience the same thing, but that's how I felt. All right, back to the story, back to where I started talking about how my mom taught me things. So one, she taught me never to beg. You don't go in the store. You're not touching anything. You don't be going to ask for anything. She's got an agenda what to get. That's what you're gonna get. And then when I got older, I was the one. I did the grocery shopping for the household. I did a lot of the cooking too. Remember one time, my mom caught me. I was in my room on my knees, on knees, writing this little love letter. And my mom, she walked, you praying? So she walked there and tried to see what I was doing. And then she saw I was writing the letter. And then she read the letter. It was so jacked up, so messed up. So she's like, let me help you. Let me help you write this letter. So we sat down and she helped me write this way nicer love letter than I could have done by myself. Wrote it, folded up nice and neat, probably even put in an envelope. So now Monday morning, it was basically to somebody that rode the bus with me at the bus stop. So I got to the bus stop, had my letter, and it was like a little brick wall that we sat at. I put the letter under a bunch of straw and left it there. And then maybe I'm gonna give it to her this afternoon. Nope. Maybe they'll give it to her tomorrow. Nope. Maybe give it to. I never did give her the letter. Just didn't have the nerve. But my mom did help me write the letter. Having to drive. Well, she didn't. I think my mom. She didn't really. I think my stepdad taught me to drive. But well before I got my license, my mom always sent me to the store. So I was driving like all over the place with no license. She wanted. You need a soda? Yeah, I go to the store get a soda. You need me to go to the grocery store? All right, I go to the grocery store. I was volunteering to do any and everything just to be able to go driving. So I was driving so much that I got extremely comfortable driving. So when it was time to go take the driving's test, I was too comfortable. So I can remember everybody go to the same place out there on 301. So the instructor got in the car with me, and I'm driving. They used to say, go out on 301, drive down, make a right. There's a railroad track, and then it was a women's prison. And I think you go past the women's prison, then you turn left. That's the street you go down. You're supposed to do parallel parking and 3-point turns, all those types of things like that. So I would practice all of that. I knew how to do all of that. So I get on 301. I'm flying down 301. I see a tractor driving down. I decided the tractor's going too slow. So I pull over, speed, go past the tractor, cut back in there, went on down, turn the street I'm supposed to turn on. Going down the street, then there's a railroad track. I jumped over the railroad track, bloop, 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 gone. Then it was time to make that next turn. I stopped. I don't even know if I stopped all the way. And then I turned, went past the women's prison. Didn't slow down. It was probably like a speed zone. Sped past there. Then I know what's coming up next is you're supposed to turn left. The instructor said, keep going to the stop sign, make another right, then make another right. So you make another right, you right back in the parking lot where you started. I was like, man, that was fast. I was like, what's going on? So we stopped and parked. It's like, you fell. Like, I fell. It's like you were speeding on 301. You jumped over the railroad track, didn't slow down. You were speeding through the speeding zone by the women's prison. You just had a whole list of things that I did wrong. So I fell just that quick. So anyway, didn't get my license that day. But I think I actually went back the very next day with a different attitude, and I was able to pass the test. I got my license. And my stepdad took me over to Wendy's. I actually got a job that day too. That was on Corey's birthday. So I got my license. I'm driving, making $3.35 an hour, working at Wendy's. I was loving it. But so yeah, got my job. Yeah, my mom taught me never hit a girl. Look out. I'm trying to look at reading some stuff. My mom told me to look out for my sisters. Look out for my sisters. I remember when I was a senior. I think when I was a senior, Corey was in kindergarten. So I would have to, when I went to school, when I got out of school, I had to go pick up Corey from kindergarten. And I would like to, I think that's how much older I am of her. But I would like to go. I like to go to the library. I was nerdy sometimes. I like to go to the library, and I was listening to audio and books on cassette. So I would go to the library a lot. But Corey didn't like going to the library. She wanted to go home. Well, I'm like, I'm going to the library. We spend a little time in the library. Then we're going home. So every day we had that discussion. So one day, while I'm strolling around the library, looking at books and looking for audio books, when it's time to go, I look for Corey. Can't find her. In the kids section, the adult section, all over. Going all over the library. Cannot find her. And I go outside. Did she go back? I think I was driving a Bug, VW 73 VW Bug with a leaky rooftop, leaky sunroof. But she wasn't in the car. She wasn't nowhere around. So I went back in panic mode, telling everybody I can't find my sister. Help me find my sister. So everybody in the library stopped what they were doing. Everybody's looking for my sister. So we're going outside and we go to the park that's nearby, looking in the ditch. I'm looking everywhere. And I'm dreading. I cannot call home. Oh my, where's my sister? I done lost my sister. So we looking, all these people looking. I don't know, we probably on the verge of getting ready to call the police. But let me call my mom first and tell her what's going on. We didn't live that. We probably lived let's say a mile and a half away. So I call, and I'm torn up. I'm about on the verge of about to start crying because I lost my sister. So I call my mom. Mom, I can't. Before I even get it out, my mom, why'd you do that? So I say, what? What you saying? Why did you drop her off at the corner? I'm like, what? Drop who? Corey. She's here and she said you dropped her off. Like, what? I was like, she's home? She was like, yeah, she's at home and you shouldn't have did what you. Hold on, I'll be right there. So I went and told everybody in the library that she was at home. I don't know how she got there, but she was at home. So I run and jump in the car, drive around. But then there was this busy 4-lane road between where I was at the library into our house. So I cross over that busy road, all the several blocks down till we get to our house, get to the house. I run in the house, see what's going on. There go Corey sitting over there, ain't not saying a word. And I'm like, I was at the library and I couldn't find Corey. So what you mean? Corey said you dropped her off at the stop sign and made her walk home that 1 block. And then you left and went back to the library. No. So now I'm thinking that girl walked several blocks through this busy traffic in the kindergarten because she didn't want to be at the library. So she was a very independent little girl. But it just, that scared me so bad of thinking I lost my sister. But that's part of it. You're supposed to look out for your family, look out for your siblings, even if you get upset with each other. That's what you did. When you're a kid, you argue over stuff, but you still brothers and sisters and sisters and sisters. You get over it, you outgrow it. But it was still, it was taught, it was ingrained. I was the only boy. I was supposed to look out for the girls. I think she was the only one that would beat me up, but everybody else was cool. But that was a life growing up with 3 sisters, the only boy, and one. It's kind of stupid now. I thought I was going to end up being gay. Reason being, I had 3 girls that the mama, I got girls all around all the time, and a lot of times I didn't have any friends. I used to spend a lot of time outside by myself with no friends until I got a little bit older. Then I was able people would come by, or I would be able to ride my bicycle. But I thought that's how being gay worked. You know, just a guy hanging around girls too much, he ended up being gay. And I was sad, like, man, I don't want to be gay, but I'm always with my sisters. I'm gonna end up being gay. Think I didn't turn out gay. But it's some crazy things that go on in your head. So now I'm like, anybody, what other kind of stories y'all have growing up? What's some crazy things that you've gotten into, different situations that you gotten into? I tell you, I got a lot. I don't know about with my sisters, like Crystal. Yeah, one time I'm taking her skating on the back street and she fell in the street and chipped a tooth. And I had to lie and say that she chipped a tooth in the backyard when we wasn't supposed to be on that back street. But thankfully they believed that story I told, and she was right along with me. But yeah, we had some good times as kids. But yeah, Crystal was she was an accident queen. She fell through the front window. She was on some skates, and we had a glass door. She came outside and said, "It's time to come in the house." And she lost it and fell. She fell right through the glass window. But she was all right. Then I remember she fell out the back door. Like she didn't go through the glass, but she fell down a couple of steps. Remember another time my mama told her to go, don't run, but take this soda. You know, back in the day, you would take a bottle, like you buying a soda. It'd be 10 cents cheaper if you brought a bottle back. So we had bottles. We did have a bottle man. He used to come to the neighborhood collecting bottles, but we had bottles too. Whenever you get ready to get soda, you better find a bottle. So my mom found a Coca-Cola bottle. My mom loves some Coca-Cola. So she said, take the bottle, don't run, and go get me a Coca-Cola. Crystal takes off running, drops the bottle, falls on the glass, and cuts herself. So now my mama got to take the money from the soda to go buy some Band-Aids. Oh, man. So she was all right. Well, there was a time that we was just talking about this a couple of weeks ago. Shell was driving and she was leaning on the car door. The door wasn't shut all the way. And Shell turned this corner. That door flew open and Crystal just flew out the door and got skin all up. So that's why we got some pictures of her being in a wheelchair. We had to push her around the zoo all that day. I don't know if that day or the next day when we went to the zoo. She all skin up, so we had to push her around. And she claims that I was pushing her real fast and letting her go down a hill. I don't remember that, but that's what she said. But where we at? Where we at? I hope y'all enjoy some of the story that it's just remembering growing up, having fun with family, going through hard times with the family, but we made it. Just family. So that's how I pray that if you don't communicate with your family, you have issues with your family, I pray for restoration with you and your family. Get yourself together, especially before it's too late, especially before your family members get sick, before you had to have a family reunion at a funeral. Go ahead, reconcile, get yourself back together. All right. I pray everybody again have a good weekend. I pray you enjoy yourself. The 4th of July is coming up. Enjoy your celebrations. Amen. Amen. So if you've been watching From the Mind of Lil Joe, and I got one more day of my challenge. Y'all join me tomorrow night. Not sure what we're going to talk about. I know we have something good and juicy to talk about. So everybody, be blessed. Until next time, Lil Joe out.
Purpose Inspired TV is under construction. During this process, we invite you to step into the journey. By joining our team, you have the chance to shape the very fabric of this channel with your creative ideas and skills. We believe that the true essence of innovation lies in collaboration, and together, we can create something truly extraordinary. We will provide content that ignites your passion, inspires personal growth, and encourages a positive impact on society. Our focus is on delivering shows that are entertaining, thought-provoking, educational, and uplifting. We want to hear your voice, your vision, and your recommendations for individuals you would love to see on our channel. We aim to create a channel that resonates deeply with viewers, challenging them to think bigger, dream bolder, and live a life of purpose. So, join us today, and together, we can make a difference, one viewer, one show, and one purpose at a time.